Together we're stronger. We've gotta remember we're one. With love at the center, we can come together. Hey! Oh! Hey!
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much. Put your hands together for the chairman of the occasion. The guest of honor, Colonel M.K. Amanga. Yes, I can do better than that. Thank you. The chairman, board of directors, retired Commander Angelo Emmanuel, you're welcome, sir. Put your hands together for Daddy. Thank you. The vice principal admin of the college, Mr. Gabriel Abochen, you're welcome, sir. The chief host, the principal of the college, Mr. Eddie Steve, you're welcome. Good morning, sir. The PTA executive, the chairman PTA, Engineer Adole Godwin, you're welcome. Good morning, sir. The vice chairman PTA, Mr. Kiwe, you're welcome, Daddy. Thank you so much. Thank you. Quickly, the next thing we are going to do is to take the opening prayers. The opening prayers will be taken by two of our students. One for Muslim and the other for Christian prayers. May I have the singular honor of inviting Ms. Halima Onekata for Muslim prayers.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen.
In Jesus' name, Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for this day, for counting us worthy among the living. Lord, your name be highly glorified in Jesus' name. Heavenly Father, I want to ask, thank you for the life of the graduates and for the parents of these graduates. Lord, may your grace continue to abound in their lives in Jesus' name. Heavenly Father, Lord, I want to ask that you shine a light upon them as they are going into the bigger world. Lord, may they not go astray in Jesus' name. And Father, Lord, may all of them be their parents proud in Jesus' name. I want to pray that this graduation will be a success in Jesus' name.
We will be taken by Master Denzel, Temlari Saraso, Ovichi, Chizoba, and Dama David Taylor. May we rise for national anthem.
The pledge. So help me God. Cherryfield, my heart and my home, my dwelling place, my needs to the world, so that when I'm done and when I'm gone, I'll leave a path for the other ones. I'll be careful and honest, loving and radiant, respectful and you. Cherryfield, all of my family, international excellence, living our destiny to Cherryfield. Cherryfield, college, my heart and my home, my dwelling place, my link to the world, so that when I'm done and when I'm gone, I'll leave a path for the others. I'll be troubled and honest, happy and radiant, respectful and you. Be Cherryfield, all of the family, international excellence, living our destiny. Be Cherryfield, Cherryfield.
Put your hands together for our students. Thank you. There is a place in a country that everything is perfect. Their education system perfect. Their fashion perfect. Music perfect. Is a place in a country in this world. Who can guess the name of that place? A place where everything is perfect, music perfect, fashion perfect, education perfect. The name of that place is Utopia set of 2025 and the company in Cherryfield College. Thank you. Welcome address by the principal of the college. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome the principal of the college, the chief host of this year's graduation, to take the opening speech.
I want to welcome you all here today to our graduation event. My esteemed invited guests, parents, Cherryfield College staff, and our wonderful students. You're all very welcome here today as we celebrate the graduation of the Utopian set, the class of 2025. I've now been in Cherryfield College for 3 years, with this being my first year as a principal. Stepping into this role has given a great opportunity to create an environment where every student can thrive both morally and academically. As principal of the college, my task is simple: take a school that is good and make it outstanding. I've already taken some steps along that journey. In our primary school in Warrington this year, we celebrated 3 of our primary school pupils scoring 100% on different Cambridge primary school exams. And we are very certain that that same success will be brought to Cherryfield College with our graduating set. If we can achieve it in our primary school, we can definitely achieve it in Cherryfield College. And we've taken positive steps here too in the college. Analysis of our exam results show every single class in the college this year, their average scores are higher than last year. And the plans we have for the new session, we have great expectations for the students that are following our graduates this year. In a year when nationally, 75% of students scored below 200 on their JAM examinations, we are very pleased to announce our outgoing SS3 students in Cherryfield College, every single one of them scored above 200. With many of them scoring incredibly well. In fact, the highest score in JAM mathematics this year, anywhere in Nigeria, was 98%. And where 5 of our students reached the national final. One of whom, Emmanuel in JS2, was the youngest performer to reach the final, and very impressively, Litsa in JS3 was the only competitor in the whole of the FCT to score 100%. This year, we were very privileged to be invited to take part in the Kellogg's Young Superstar Award. We teamed up with one of our pupils from Cherryfield Primary School, and I can't tell you the outcome of the competition due to the rules, but what we can tell you is the team that came second in the future competition scored 22 points. Team Cherryfield scored 40 points. So we're very proud of both our college and our primary school for that amazing result. On the sporting front, we are incredibly proud of the efforts made of our sports teams, most of whom are dominated and led by our wonderful SS3 students. It would take far too long to mention all of our sporting success. So we'll just say for now a few highlights. Recently, 32 teams from schools across Abuja took part in a football tournament. We are very pleased to say our boys took 4th place. But even better than that, our girls in the female section took 3rd place, which out of 32 schools is a very worthwhile feat. Even more than that, our senior boys, mostly made up of our graduating SM3 students. Our most recent success was in a basketball competition organized by an association linked to the American basketball organizations, where, well, we're very proud to say, not only did we win the event, but 2 of our SS3 students are in consideration after the event for a basketball scholarship in the United States of America. And with the continued support and encouragement of our parents, our PTA, and the hard work of our teaching staff, we are very sure what we achieved this year will be built upon and improved on in the future. The enthusiasm of our amazing students will definitely achieve more and more as the years go by. Many of you will have already noticed the improvements we are already making in the college. The construction of our new swimming pool, our tennis courts, which alongside our international standard basketball court, our handball court and football pitch, will surely make us one of the best equipped schools in Nigeria for sporting facilities. Our newly appointed prefects have already done an amazing job. They were well guided and mentored by our outgoing SS3s. It is about celebrating the achievements of our graduating students. And to them, I offer my heartfelt congratulations, the class of 2025. Your achievements are a testament to your hard work. And I have no doubt that you will excel in your future endeavors. As we embark on your new chapter, I wish you great success, happiness, and fulfillment. Remember, and this is important, remember the friends we made in Cherryfield as we move on to new adventures. Some of you may not see each other again after today. Others will be going to the same university and you'll continue your friendship. But either way, today, part on good terms. Wish each other success and great happiness in all of your future lives. If you've had difficulties with each other, allow those difficulties to end. Families are proud. Our class of 2025 has contributed greatly to the success of Cherryfield College. They've laid a foundation for others to build upon. I look forward to hearing of the great things they will undoubtedly achieve in the future. Utopia class of 2025, good luck and best wishes to all of you.
Now, to some of us that graduated when there was no social media, what happened to you? After a long time, you meet your setmate and then you start thinking, this face is familiar. You crack your brain and you say, oh, this is this person. But the era of social media will take care of that. You see yourself regularly. Next, for his welcome address, is the chairman, board of directors. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the singular honor to welcome Commander Agero E. retired, FSS, PIPC, NDSS, PNC bonds. Welcome to the stage. Sorry.
Please permit me to stand on the already established protocols. That's notwithstanding, I still want to recognize the chairman of education, my dear friend, the parents of the former student of this school, Barrister Abam Oga, and the special guest of honor, the respected retired senior military officer, a person who loves education, and the parent who has appreciated so much and is still appreciating what we've been doing in the college, Amanda Richard. I equally want to recognize the principal of the school, the vice principal, all the teachers. Also, the child senior military officers, some of them are parents, some are here as our guests. Senior citizens of this great nation, Nigeria, all are still present. Without leaving out the PTA chairman and his ESCO, who have been very, very wonderful in seeing that the affairs of this school never diminished. Last week, Friday, the nursery and primary school, Cherryfield, they had their graduation ceremony. The head of school addressed the audience and enumerated all their achievements and what they had the school has done. The director of the school came out to also speak on the achievement and what the school had done. When I came out to speak, I was just looking, I didn't know, because they said all are written down. And the same thing is happening here. Most of the things I try to highlight in my speech, the principal has virtually covered it. And the vice staff is like repeating it. So where do I start from? Well, I'll say something. And maybe I will speak about the relationship between the PTA and the management. You have been awesome. You have been very wonderful. And the parents, some of our parents have been quite supportive. Cherryfield is existing today because of you, our parents. And like I've always said, without you, this school will not exist. If you don't believe in what we do in the school here, you will not bring our children to the school. So I want to appreciate you. I want to thank you. I know things are difficult. I know how some of our parents, I know what they go through when it comes to payment of school fees, trying to sustain their children in the school here. It is not easy. And I once in a while, some parents have come to ask us, how are we meeting up in running this school? Because it is not easy. And that's why sometimes when we add little, we feel the pain for you. But if we don't do it, we cannot maintain the standard. I'm telling you up till now, we are still struggling to maintain the standard we've already established. We don't want to go below. It is not easy. As it's not easy with you, it's not equally easy with us too. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the pain you go through. And by the grace of God, we all pray for things to get better, for us to have an environment where we can take our children to any school of our choice. As a management, just like the principal mentioned, Cherryfield College would not believe in only academics. Yes, they are there to study, but we value extracurricular activities like sporting activities. We value it seriously, and that's why I'm taking the pain to construct some sporting arena. The swimming pool behind. We've gone very far. It's an Olympic standard swimming pool. And I aim that any student that comes to this school should be able to float in water for minutes. To be able to leave the house and maybe during holiday and say, I'm going to the swimming pool. And the parents should be rest assured that yes, they can go, they can swim. Also, as we are working on the swimming pool, a standard synthetic laundry stock will be ongoing. And I'm telling you, this sporting facilities we are providing is being funded solely by me, not by the school. Not by the school. Because the school cannot fund it the way we are. But God is doing a lot, and I'm doing that. And our outgoing students, I'm sure by the time they come next, they will have the opportunity to come there and swim. It's a pool. Feel free to come and listen. The people have spoken so well. You are wonderful students who will miss you. But as you are leaving this school, you are going to a different environment. You are going to a world where you meet the good, the bad, the ugly. The choice is yours. While we are here, we run after you, we chase you all night, we make sure you have the best. Now you are going to the university. Some of you will be going outside the country where if you like wear pants on the street, nobody will tell you not to wear ordinary pants. They see you, oh, you are fine. But are you fine if your parents see you with ordinary pants on the street? Are you looking fine to them? Will they be happy? Never. And Nigeria as a country, even our universities these days, parents make choice of universities because there are some universities, some parents will say they might be good, but their parents will not want them to go there. Please, what we've taught you here in Bible, what your parents have taught you, please carry it along. If you were stubborn here, please don't go and prove stubborn, don't go and prove that stubbornness where you are going. we want to see you back to this college as our good ambassadors. And we are ready to welcome you any day, anytime. May God bless you. I congratulate you, all of you, and I thank your parents. I bow down for your parents for supporting you all these 6 years. It wasn't easy for them. They were chasing you up and down, and today they are flying out of this school. Congratulations once more, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Versatile management team, guests of honor, distinguished guests, proud parents, and most importantly, graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to present the citation of the chairman of this great occasion, Barrister Abba Oga, as follows. Barrister Abba Oga is a distinguished alumnus of the University of Uyo, where he earned a bachelor's degree in political science and public administration. He furthered his education at the University of Calabar, obtaining an LLB degree, and subsequently became a certified legal practitioner. Abba's career spanning several decades. Barrister Abba has held various notable positions. He worked as a registrar of the High Court of Cross River State, where he served in several capacities, including registrar of the Cross River State Armed Robbery and Firearms Tribunal, registrar of the Cross River State Environmental Sanitation Court, registrar of several customary courts in the state. He retired as an assistant chief registrar of the High Court, a testament to his dedication and hard work. Additionally, he worked as a senior staff member of the National Assembly from 2004 to 2007. National Assembly, Barrister Abba established his private legal practice, which has flourished over the years. He has become a renowned legal practitioner and consultant on oil and gas, serving several states, including Delta State, Edo State, Bayelsa, Imo, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, and Cross River State. He has also handled high-profile cases on constitutional interpretation for these states. Beyond his professional accomplishment, Barrister Abba Oga is a committed philanthropist for 17 years. He has been providing scholarships to numerous students and distributing free wigs and gowns to all graduates of the Nigerian Law School who are indigents of Cross River State and some neighboring states. Over 1,000 lawyers have benefited from this scheme, which continues till this day. He is also a successful property consultant, a developer, and the proprietor of AB Main Hotel in Calabar. Furthermore, he is a large-scale cocoa farmer. In his personal life, Barrister Abba Oga is married to Reverend Mrs. Blessing Abba Oga, and their marriage is divinely blessed with 2 children. Very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the chairman of this occasion, Barrister Abba Oga, a man of the stage, for an opening speech. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for the directors, Cherryfield. Thank you very much, Principal, for the school. Thank you very much, my fellow golfer, the guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed very excited to be given the opportunity to address the students of this school, particularly the Utopian students. The Utopian set, I can say, it's a very fortunate set, very opportune set, very distinguished set, and I can see in them the president of this country. I can see in them. I can also see in them student president. Keep your grades fine. I'm sure you know what Utopia means. Dreams in your life as you leave this place. Keep dreaming. And your dream should be aiming to reach the sky. If you can't get to the sky, if you land, you will not crash land. You will land on something. You will land on an object. But if you don't dream, you will have no opportunity to actualize the essence of your life. You see, you are also very fortunate to have been groomed by a school like Cherryfield. When I came to Abuja, I was hearing of schools, so many schools. And I have to send my kids to those schools. But I was not getting the right inputs. I was not getting the right results. At some point, my son, who finished from here, in one of those schools, told me he wants to be a musician. I said, how can you be a musician? How can a son to a lawyer be a musician? Impossible. And I saw him dressing in a funny way, funny style. So I met my friend, who is the chairman of the board of directors, a golfer. I said, please, tell me more about your school. You know his response? Come and try the place yourself. I can't place myself. So on midway second term, I told my wife, take my son to Cherryfield, go and try the place. As I was leaving the town, at Naya, my son asked my mom, where are we going to? My wife said, hold on till we get there. When they got to the school, they said, is this the school? My son said, yes. So you mean you could take a decision about my change of school without my input? My wife said, wait until you start paying your school fees. So you can choose your school. But for now, go there. The first thing, this boy was so sad, but as God would have it, with the disciplinary measures, the disciplinary procedures put in place by the school, he started changing gradually. In his second year in this school, I started seeing its different styles, the change of it. The next thing I heard from him was, Daddy, I want to follow you to court. I said, how? From where? And that morning when I was going to court, I stopped over in the High Court, Federal High Court. And in court, the judge saw a little boy, saw him say, hey, young man, who is this young man in my court? I said, my Lord, I'm sorry, that's my son. He said, young man, approach the bench. The young man approached the bench. He said, look, which school are you? He said, Cherryfield. What do you want to become? A lawyer. You want to be a lawyer like your father? No. You want to be a lawyer like me? You want to be a judge? No. You want to be a lawyer like my father? He was an SS1. And the judge said, I pray that you be more successful than your father. And the whole court answered amen. You know what happened? Second year, third year, this boy changed his attitude. 2022, we came here for his graduation. And he promised me that I'm going to do very well. I said, look, I pray you have other kids, all the kids who go to school here. That year he left, he didn't spend 1 month extra. On his own, he secured admission in Base University. I didn't even know how he got that admission. Without even the results from my head. When the results were released, he got 3 A's, 3 B's, and a C. He was admitted. Today, as we speak, he's a graduate from Base University.
Put your hands together for that.
He was even here this morning when I told him that I want to use him as an example. He ran away. He said, he ran away. So, what I have noticed in this school is a very exceptionally high academic standard, exceptionally high moral standard, and very wide spectrum of opportunities for you to excel in any part of the world. Let's give a round of applause to the school.
Yes.
And like you to speak more on the principal and the chairman of the board of directors of Utopian set. You see, you may not know the opportunities you have in the future. As you are leaving this place, you will no longer be given, you will no longer be provided with provisions. You will no longer be provided with pocket money. You will no longer be dropped in school. As you're living, you are going to be independent being. You're going to be on your own. You only be provided with some money to take care of you. Now the question is, what do you do with your time after now? Do you want to use your time to make friends? This is not the time for you to make friends. No, sorry, this is not the time for you to keep friends. Make friends, but don't keep friends. You only need these friends in future. When you graduate, you only need friends in future, the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's when you need your friends. The friends you make now are acquaintances. The friends you make now are the kind of friends that you should know their habits, know their backgrounds. The kind of friends you make now are the friends that will either make or mar you in future. They will mar you in future when you join them to the secret court. They will marry you when you join them to take drugs. They will marry you when you join them to focus on other things apart from your academics. Your academics is key. Between now and the next 4 years, you determine whether you're going to be the president of this country or not. And how do you achieve that? Avoid any friend that will not encourage you to study. In your next stage of life, what you need is study hard, pray hard, study hard, and listen to your parents. If you miss any of those, you may be heading for destruction. Now, I'll give you a story. When I was the registrar of the Armed Robbery Tribunal, I'll tell you why it is bad to have wrong friends. When I was the registrar of the Armed Robbery Tribunal, we had a case where the son of a deputy commissioner of police got involved in a secret call activity. They were going for recruitment with his friends. Midway, they had some. He was not in possession of gun. It was his friends who were in possession of gun. Now, when they were going for recruitment, midway they ran short of money, so they stopped the taxi. The driver took them to the point. Now, when the driver asked for their fare, the other was fair, just say, "Get out, my friend. Come on. Don't you know us?" Now they left. The only 5,000, the only money the driver had on his dashboard, that was about 50 naira. They took it. As the driver left, he called the police. The police now went after the boys, arrested the boys. They were investigated and charged for armed robbery. They were sentenced to death and executed in their villages for armed robbery. Now, what happened to the son of the commissioner of police? That was his only son. And he had done so much. He spent so much sending him to school. But unfortunately, he was executed in his village, in his presence. 1998. I was there. Now, the collateral damage done to the man was he developed high blood pressure, developed stroke, and died eventually even before the end of his career. What am I saying in essence? Why was that boy executed? He might have been innocent, but because he was in company of two other boys who were secret cult members, and they were in possession of guns. But the law at that time is, if you are in possession, if you are in the presence of one or two other persons who are in possession of firearms, and there is an evidence of armed robbery that is taking away somebody's property, even without attempting to fire him, you are guilty of armed robbery. Now, what caused it? Because he was in the wrong position, in the wrong place, at the wrong time, with the wrong set of people. Now, his career as a medical student was diminished. So, he who asks, hears, let him hear. Utopia said, you are a very privileged set. Let nothing tempt you to join the wrong group. Your parents have done so much for you. Make them proud. Make them proud by achieving greater heights. Now, finally, parents, particularly dream about what you want to be. There's nobody amongst you here who God did not place with a special gift to know your strength, to know what you want and what you cannot do. As it is, all you need is prayers, and your parents will join you in prayers, the school authority will join you in prayers, we all will join you in prayers to ensure that you succeed and achieve whatever you want to achieve. And you know, on the screen I saw one Naomi who says he wants to be a lawyer. Who is Naomi? Naomi is in the lecture. She wants to be a lawyer. Can I see you?
Usana Naomi, put your hand up
Let me
here.
see you.
Take a step and stand up.
Let me see you.
Yes.
Very good. I'll pray for you to be a lawyer. As you get there, you get admission to study law at the university. And you finish, I'm going to provide you with your week and down.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Beyond that, as you leave here, I'm going to give you a gift of 100,000 naira now.
Wow.
Thank you very much. And finally, before I take my seat, let me also advise you, I hear your yearbook. That yearbook should be preserved in your library. You know why? There are some of you here who will not see your friend the rest of your life. There are some of you here who will not see under the next 40 years. That yearbook should be like a point of contact for you. In the next, I can assure you, the next 50 years, you will need that book to locate your friends. Just like I did with my friend, Jordan Belechi. What is his name? Jordan Belechi. We've been friends for the past 45 years. And I'm not seeing you here again. And I hear his daughter is here. Oh, good. I'll tell you something about our relationship, and that's why it's good to make friends, keep friends. We were friends with this man 45 years ago. And that was one set of friends. We were about 7 of us, all assembly and managers. 10, 20 years later, when I started practicing, one of my friends, one of us, saw me somewhere and he said, "Are you a lawyer?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "I have a brief for you." I said, "What's the brief?" He said, "I'm a friend to a governor, and I've been looking for a lawyer. I want to engage you." A week later, he engaged me, he took me, introduced me to his friend who was the governor. That use this man. He has an experience. He has worked with the court before. Use him as a private lawyer. And look at me, I was engaged as a private lawyer. And that engagement turned around my fortunes to date. Please work hard, pray hard, and work hard. Thank you very much.
Put your hands together for the chairman. Commander, retired. FSS, MSS, DSS, FNAIA. Born on 18th November 1956 in Gombe local government area of Adamawa State. Colonel M.K. Hamanga is a distinguished architect, military officer, and public servant whose career has spanned architecture, military, engineering, national development, and electoral administration. He began his education at Gombe Primary School 1963 to 1970. Proceeded 1970 to 1974 and attended the Northeast College of Art and Science, Maiduguri 1974 to 1976. He then earned his BSc and MSc in architecture from Ahmad Bello University, Zaria, 1976 to 1981. He also completed various military and technical courses during his service. The Nigerian Army Engineers, on 1st December 1979, Colonel Hamanga held numerous strategic roles early in his career. He contributed to the development of 82 divisions in Enugu and led combat engineering training at NASA Macaulay. As a military architect and project coordinator, he directly oversaw major national projects including the Nigerian Army School of Armor, Bauchi, Airborne School, Jaji, and multiple barracks and training facilities across Nigeria. He served in Defense Headquarters, Ministry of Defense, and as liaison officer during Nigerian seat of government relocation from Lagos to Abuja, 1992 to 1994. His efforts were instrumental in establishing military and presidential infrastructure in the new capital. Retiring as Director of Army Works in 2007, he transitioned in national service, notably as National Commissioner at INEC 2010 to 2015, where he chaired the Logistics Committee and led international observer missions to countries such as the USA, Ireland, and South Africa. Colonel Hamanga is a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, FNIA, and a member, ARCOM. His service includes roles of the National Council of Works, presidential committees, and as a technical advisor for federal construction initiatives. A man of diverse interests, he enjoys golfing, documentary films, estate development, and traveling. His legacy reflects a lifetime of excellence in service, leadership, and nation building. Mr. Hamanga, Mr. Chairman, and all the invited guests here seated, permit me at this juncture to specially welcome Colonel Hamanga to the podium for his opening remarks. Welcome, sir. And I just returned from Istanbul, Turkey, for the graduation of a son, Aliyu Hamanga, just 2 days back. You're welcome, sir.
The chairman of the occasion, the chairman of the board of directors, my brother, my family friend, and my personal friend. The principal, the management team, and members of staff, distinguished guardians, honored guests, friends of the school, above all, our shining stars, the Utopian class of 2025. want to recognize my wife, Dr. Zaina, and my sister, Amina Yusuf, wife of General Yusuf, and Yusuf, myself. I'm highly impressed. I'm highly honored. I feel happy. First of all, a lot has been said by the principal, by the chairman board of directors, by the chairman of the occasion. I won't say much because it is very clear. This school is a standard school. When I came to Abuja in 1989, we didn't have school. We used to go to Ofa, Mina. The earliest school here was that's near you here. What does it call? What do you call it? Loyola Jesuit. So earlier family children went to Loyola Jesuit. And we traveled all the way from Abuja to other states in Nigeria to take our children. I must confess, I must congratulate the school. The school has standards. The moment you enter this school, the environment is controlled. Discipline is controlled. And in addition to education they give them, there are other extracurricular activities the school runs. And we know this is an advantage to all parents who bring their children to this school. So the parents, which I am one of them, I also congratulate you and express my happiness for the coordinated liaison and being together, friendliness you have developed in this school. As a parent, I noticed that most of the parents, when the children leave this school, they still maintain their parentship. They liaise and they support. So, thank you very much. This is just in addition to that. I am deeply honored to stand here before you today as your guest of honor on this proud and joyful occasion. Thank you for the privilege to celebrate with you and more importantly to speak in the future of these young promising graduates. For the Utopian 2025 celebrants, remember, when you live here, you are going to be exposed to a wider environment and many more activities through hard work. Hard work is your godmother. So make your mother proud and active in supporting you. You have to do hard work. Mind what you do, mind what you write, mind your activities, and mind what you talk about. A lot has been said by the barrister, and in addition, always remain focused. Don't get angry unnecessarily, because when you go out, you will see what I'm talking about. Remain calm, remain focused, and be prompt. Make sure that you are timely in whatever activity you do. And make sure you coordinate yourselves. As he has said, some of you will never see yourself, but IT has improved everything now. Today marks a great achievement, not just for graduating students, but also for everyone who stood by them. Teachers who labored with love, parents who sacrificed without hesitation, and school administrators who kept the vision of the Utopian class of 2025 alive. I must explain this. The staff of this school are excellent. Excellent. They listen to parents, they act promptly. They are very kind and they are disciplined. I'm very happy. Both the staff general and the academic staff. So congratulations for that, for giving our children a good foundation. So foundation has been given. It is now left to you to make sure that you maintain this foundation. It's just like building a structure. If the foundation is bad, then the building will collapse. Superstructure and other finishes will just go bad within short time. So it is advised that since foundation has been given from this school, which is a standard, from what they have talked about, we all know that this foundation is a standard foundation. To this graduate, I say a resounding congratulations once more. You have run the race, you have kept the pace, and today you cross to the finish line, not as the same people who began the journey, but as stronger, wiser, and more capable young adults. From my own experience with this school, all the graduates, the previous ones before you, have excelled in wherever they've gone to. My son just graduated yesterday with colors. He was given a degree with honor. And he graduated from this school.
All the way from Turkey, Istanbul.
He graduated from Turkey, Atilin. And my daughter is here. She graduated smoothly. No gallop, nothing, straight. They call it Gargada in Hausa. And everything went smoothly. She's now a lawyer.
Wow.
And I also must appreciate and congratulate our PTA members, especially the ladies, the women, the mothers. In fact, they have they are representing us. We are resting. They are so coordinated, so active, and they are making things work quickly and orderly. So thank you very much for representing us. Good purpose, and never forget where you started from. Don't forget. Always remember. May you rise and rise again until your dreams become your reality. Once again, I congratulate the school for being a distinguished school. I know many parents who move their children from other schools come here. I don't think you need to advertise the school again, because the number of people who want to bring their children to this school is just too many. So I think you can just go by screen based on merit and just complete it. But anyway, it's normal and it's a tradition. So congratulations once again.
Put your hands together for that. From your mother, we are very proud of you. Thank the women, PTA women. Thank you so much for the Walima, for the validation service, I enjoyed the rice very well. Thank you, mother. And also thank you, Mrs. Hamanga and other women for the decoration. Thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate our mother. Also present in our midst are our S students, distinguished S students. Can you wait for the audience to see you? Our S students are here. Appreciate them, CFC students. And the first is one of us, one of the dragons. She is presenting a song, her own song. She's ready, young, active, strong. We welcome Miss
Good morning, everyone. Chairman, Board of Directors, Chairman of the occasion, guest speaker, lovely parents, our principal and his admirable management team, beloved teachers, well appreciated non-teaching staff, my fellow graduating students. Please can I get some noise from the crowd? My junior students, ladies and gentlemen, hope I didn't forget our mommies and daddies. So mommies and daddies, hi! For those who may not know me, I am Miss Johanna. And in honor of my setmates and friends that are graduating today, I'm here to tell a story. A story that defines and describes each and every one of us. A story that talks about our growth from just 1 to SS3, the trouble and the pain we have faced, the losses we have incurred, and the ways in which we rose from the ashes to continue to fight. I implore all of you to listen to this story told through song and enjoy the music. Thank you.
Some people live the dream, others struggle
distributing gifts to our teachers. We are really proud of you. You will go far. Thank you. One of our just one student, Master Denzel. Master Denzel, are you ready? Yes, let's have that quick one.
I'm here to present a song called House of Memories by my friend from graduates. Thank you.
Now, for us to come to Nigeria. Final presentation from our cultural troupe. Are you ready, cultural troupe? Yes, the stage is yours. in the hearing of that judgment, Nigeria won. Put your hands together for the cultural food. God bless you. The school yearbook to part 3. And then we are taking the part 3, which is presentation of our award downward. So, the school yearbook to be with you. To the stage. Put your hands together for the chairman of the occasion. We will commission the school yearbook and kickstart the launching. You're welcome, sir.
This time is an opportunity to raise money for our dear graduates. Do you know why this is a very important occasion? Ladies and gentlemen, parents, you see the graduates, you see the children we call children today. They are going to be our pension and gratuity in future. You know why? By the time we get to 70, 80 years, and we can't make money again, they will be sending us allowances. For those of them who are going to be medical doctors, we will be consulting. They are free. We're not going to pay. They will prescribe drugs for us free. What we are supposed to use our pension to pay for, they will be free. Am I correct? Now, the only opportunity we have to encourage you is to launch the yearbook. You know why? The yearbook is going to be a source of their future contacts. Some of them may be presidents, some of them may be senators, some of them may be medical doctors, some of them may be judges or senior advocates. You may have an opportunity to require their services. It is through the yearbook your son or your daughter will locate that president. It is through the yearbook your son or your daughter will locate that consultant on medical consultant on your health. Assuming you have some medical terminal conditions, and one of your son's classmates is a specialist in America, and you happen to find yourself in America. How do you think your son is going to locate their friend? It's through the yearbook, through the contact that you get from the yearbook. So it's important we encourage. Have the singular privilege of inviting the royal father, the secretary, to join us. Your Royal Highness, you must be availably contacted. We also have the privilege of inviting the parents of the graduating students. I hope this speaker can carry us. Yes,
the reason why we are here.
I told you, graduating students, I told you the reason why you should keep your friends. My friend George, what is the next today, he is the chairman of Forestry Commission in Cross River State, and it's been very useful to me anytime I have any need.
Yes, we can form 2 lines.
And
3 lines is even possible. Okay, bring the yearbook here. More of the yearbook. Bring them in number. Friends of Chairman Board of Governors present here. here.
The friends of the chairman for governors.
And most of the friends are also parents.
And most of them are governors. Where are they? Normally say that the charity begins at home. But this time, charity will start from my neighbor, not from me. As we all know, the yearbook is meant to preserve the relationship between the graduates. It's a lifetime opportunity to preserve the relationship you have made from childhood, from the secondary school. You have to encourage the school and appreciate the school for creating this opportunity, this lifelong contact. I would like us to launch this yearbook. And launching the yearbook, I want to call on the chairman of the board of directors to start. Yes. Can this start to come on yearbook? Okay. Because it's going to be there. I was thinking I could be the last. Being the host. Being the deputy host.
Chairman has given you the power.
Well, the chairman has put me in a very, because I've been doing a lot to make this decision very perfect. I couldn't have really come out because you after the I couldn't be the one launching. But once you are the chairman of the meeting, everything you say is final. Whatever I am going to do, let me support you in the sum of 250,000.
And some of 250,000 naira supporting the chairman of the election.
Thank you very much. In fact, that was, I think on the time program, because that was the lighter mood. Each time we play golf, he talked my money. So I never play back. I warned him 2 weeks ago. I said, look, for doing this to me, I'm going to make you pay for it there. I can't really have to thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by launching this with 2 million naira.
2 million naira, put your hands together for the chairman of the occasion, who is launching his 2 yearbook with the sum of 2 million naira.
And in supporting me to launch, in supporting me to launch this yearbook, I want my very close friend of 50 years standing. These children are here. I can see the daughter. I can see the daughter here. Placing his head, her head on her head, or her hands on her head. Hey, look, I'm going to go to the my dad. He's a very good friend indeed. And I'm lucky by his side. Support me in launching it.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Because I don't want to put my hand across your head, I've also decided that I will launch the book, with my lady police wife, Mrs. Maria Aquato. So on my behalf and our own family, we'll take 2 copies of this for $1 million.
2 copies of the 2 yearbook for $1 million. They make me shouting 10 million. They know what that can do.
Yes, the graduate students of the Utopia said, you see, I told you that you should have why it is good to have good friends. They will always be there to support you. Your dream should be, and your prayer should be, have good friends and supporting you. Now, let me invite a special guest to launch.
Being an active family member, participation in all activities, I give my support on behalf of the family with 300,000 naira.
Thank you so much, special guest of honor. We really appreciate it.
I'm sure it's that way, but you want to contest a election with this ball. Yes, as you launch, you will eat. As you launch the year, we'll take a copy or two and proceed to your seat.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you, man.
To support us to launch the year.
He is purchasing a studio with the sum of 20,000 naira. Mr. Okoro, and he wants to do it cash.
The chairman.
The duty is interested in this year because it will preserve the relationship between the graduates. So on behalf of the PTA, we are launching the yearbook with a sum of 200,000 naira.
To save the time of education, have been made to understand that some people will make letters. And through the papers, I want them to drop it on, they drop it in.
Distribute the paper to our parents so that we can have time.
Yes, as you drop your thank you very much. I'm really impressed with the turnout and the response to this call.
Yes, sir. Thank you, God bless you. A round of applause for Chairman of Education. We really appreciate of awards. Awards subcommittee, get ready. Science. Best in agricultural science going in Daniel. Best in biology. Olefu, Joan,
This guy is obstructing us.
Amechi, Aloke, why are we stepping forward? Best in Christian religious studies. Best in CRS. Hurry up. To be quickly followed by best in civic education. Isaac, David, Audrey. What a surprise. It's a time today. Best in civic education. Best in computer studies. Onyebu, Joanne, Ebube. Best in data processing. Bulus, Sophia. Best in economics. All the grace standing. May we have the guest of honor, the special guest of honor on stage for the rest of the presentation.
Whenever you are done snapping, and that's where you come.
After this, the presentations will be done by special guest of this occasion. Congratulations, Isaac David. Thank you so much, Principal. Financial accounting, all the place standing. They will be followed by best in food and nutrition. And how very Aju Johanna in French language. Best in French language.
separate. They got to turn them, go right, go right.
Open empty heaven. No wonder 98% will jam. And she's asking how much is how much she allocate to money. Best in geography. Best in government. All the praise by him. All the grace and congratulations. In marketing, best in marketing. All the grace and the best in marketing. All the grace. Congratulations. Best in physics, as the David Ojosi. Technical drawing. Best in technical drawing. Income balance. Visual arts will be followed by best in technical drawing. Best in visual arts. Operating Adaisi. Best in visual art operating Adaisi Mirabel. In science class. Oh my God. Best student in science class. Put your hands together for Master Isaac David Ojosi. Best student in science.
Hello. I also have the honor to add additional 100,000 naira.
Additional 100,000 naira donated to Isaac, President in Humanities. All the grades A. The parents can join for photograph. Best student in Humanities class. Yes, sir. Overall students of the set of 2025 I have been informed that there is a tie here. Okay, the students of
the guest of honor, the chairman board of directors, dear esteemed parents of Cherryfield College, principal staff and students of Cherryfield College, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the PTA, I want to congratulate the graduating set of 2025 for making us proud and making their parents proud. The PTA collaborates with the management and staff of CSC to sustain the culture of excellence in Cherryfield College. We do this by working together to ensure that we raise total children that are worthy in learning and in character. And we have received a lot of support from the school management. We have a system that listens, and we are proud of Cherryfield College. We are happy to be associated with Cherryfield College. Graduating set of 2025, please give yourselves a round of applause. I want to thank parents of Cherryfield College for their support. The PTA gives 2 sets of awards. We also give awards to teachers. The PTA gives awards to the overall best graduating students. We also give to the best behaved student male. We also give to the best behaved student female. We give awards to our teachers. We appreciate them because they are the reasons why we are here. Not just teachers teaching and non-teaching staff. We appreciate you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, we shall be presenting certificates to the overall best graduating students. For this year, we have a time, and what the PTA does normally is to encourage graduating students with a token of 100,000 naira. Since for this year we have 2 students that have a time, we shall be giving 100,000 to each of them. The first on our list here is Ode Grace. Ode Grace, put your hands together. Today, that was just a time. We have Isaac David Ojotule. Isaac David Ojotule. To present our certificates worth 100,000 naira each to the best graduating students. So I start with Ode Grace Join.
I think there's a dummy check here.
Then we have the one from the school management that is worth 150,000 naira.
Good.
So, Chairman.
Very impressed. I'm deeply touched. Really deeply touched by it. That is why when I was in my opening remark, I said there's no mistake to send the children to this school. This is a report. And I pray that we continue investing in the university. God bless you. I will add about 50,000 naira to you.
The chairman of education is adding another 50,000 naira to this, making a total of 300,000 naira. Thank you, sir. Hard work pays.
Coincidence that I'm presenting this developing award to Isaac David. He was here before as the best student in
science.
And God had a work for him, right?
Another 50,000 naira added to that. So Master Isaac David Ojotule is pocketing a huge sum of 400,000 naira. 150,000 naira from the chairman of education alone.
The next set of awards, that's the PTA award.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me call on the chairman board of directors to please join us for that award. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned here earlier that the PTA collaborates with the school management to raise total children. We are interested in children who are not just good in academics, but they are also good in terms of character and behavior. On that note, the PTA will be presenting awards to the best behaved graduating students, and the winner in this case here is Effiong Daniel Andrew.
This award being presented to Effiong David.
Effiong Daniel.
Sorry, Effiong Daniel.
Yes, sir.
This certificate is accompanied with the sum of 50,000 naira.
A sum of 50,000 naira for being best behaved.
You see, what we need in this school is discipline, good behavior. And for you to be found very outstanding, speaks volume of you. That out of yourself, you are picked as the best behaving student. I think he deserves another round of applause.
Another round of applause to appreciate good mothers.
I will support the PTA with the sum of 50,000. Thank you.
Congratulations.
To complete the cycle, I will bring the Chairman Board of Directors to present to the best behaved students, girls category. And the winner is Abu Bagaji Halima Best behaved.
Of the whole board, you are very outstanding good friends. You should not end here. Keep it up. Keep it up. That shows what the background is coming from. Your mom is very proud of you, and that's why they are coming together. In the same way, I'm going to add additional 50,000 naira.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Chairman Board of Directors. Additional 50,000.
But I know you will do one thing for us before the end of this program. I think we are the important part of this occasion. We are here to celebrate the graduates, and our prayer is that this world will celebrate them. Please, this world will celebrate you. Amen. I want to thank parents for your sacrifices that you have made to bring this day possible. The PTA appreciates your efforts. We have people who take care of our children in Cherryfield College here. I must say honestly that in Cherryfield College, the teachers in Cherryfield College, they are the best you can find anywhere, and I can attest to that because I have a background in teaching. The teaching staff too, please, you can clap. The non-teaching staff, without them, there are things we will not be having here today because they also assist our children. So I plead with every one of you to please join us. I know you have done so much today. The PTA gives awards to teaching and non-teaching staff, but for this year, we have decided to appreciate every member of staff of Cherryfield College. Everybody is appreciated today. Please, let's give them a round of applause. A round of PTA support. The PTA is appreciating our teaching and non-teaching staff with a sum of 500,000 naira.
The PTA is appreciating the Cherryfield College staff with a sum of 500,000 naira.
And I'm told that the parents, okay, I think yes, please speak on that.
The graduating parents of this set is supporting the teaching and non-teaching staff with a sum of 544,000.
A round of applause for the graduating parents, also supporting teachers and non-teachers, teaching and non-teaching staff.
I'm on my knees, chairman of the occasion. Please, I need your support. Please, can you join me? Yes.
The chairman of the occasion is invited to the program still to do more.
When our own individuals, this year they were able to groom my son to change his career from music to law. I'm sure if you come here, he might not have graduated in 3 years from this university as a lawyer. That's the main reason why I'm supporting the law teachers. And I wish I was what they are doing. I don't at least let me see my brother come from the Let me support him.
Thank you so much. Put your hands together for the chairman of the occasion.
I wish I knew I was going to do this to the teachers. I was not how to spread my investments. Thank you very much. You are putting on there. Yes, there is this popular saying that the reward of teachers are in heaven. And I think these days they are getting their reward on earth.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And the relationship I have with my teachers, they are here, they can testify. We are a family. And we are always together, doing things together. I want to support the PTA in the sum of 300,000.
Thank you so much, Chairman Board of Directors, supporting the PTA with the sum of 300,000 naira.
I've said it before, the staff are very nice, they are kind, they listen, and they treat cases urgently. So I'm giving a support of 100,000.
You know, while we were launching the yearbook, I had announced that, or I had indicated that one of my friends of the chairman was going to launch the book with us. So unfortunately, he wasn't around. By the grace of God, he is around. And I invite Mr. Fredo to come and launch the yearbook. Sorry, I'm taking us back, but it's important I recognize it.
Everybody, you are really done well. God bless you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your support. We appreciate it. Oh, okay. We have a parent supporting teaching and non-teaching staff with 200,000 naira. Thank you, sir.
Put your hands together.
We appreciate. God bless you.
Put your hands together for PTA executive. God bless you. Award and certificate. May I invite the vice principal of the college, vice principal me, to the stage here. Best female student in sports. Best female student in sports. Unwibe, Ebube, Pemon, Diamond, Aniche, Tobechukwu Emmanuel. SSC WAEC 2024. Best place in SSC WAEC 2024. Ada Peter Unimasi is around. Best student in WAEC 2024. It will be followed by best student in NECO 2024. 50,000 naira sponsored by school. In 2024, Benjamin, Messi, Ebo, Amira, Yusuf, Amina, Musa, followed by assistant head girl. Assistant head girl, Adul Johanna. Adul Johanna Kubela. Greenhouse Baptist, Omar, Farouk, Abubakar, Muslim Prefect Boys, Absalam, Abraham, Tahiru, Amechi, Anoke, Kelechi, Giovanni, David Mahmoud, Princess, Margaret, Dama Nami, Daniela, Pentecostal prefect. Oyeni Daniel Erope. Oyeni Daniel Kikon. Catholic prefect. Catholic prefect. Onyebu Joan Ebube. Why the headgear is coming? Time to pass together. Time to pass. Olusi Angel Omorola. Time to pass already on our way. Social prefect, get ready. Operating, I think it's the leader there. Peace will find. Peace will find. Okenwa Robin, Rennie, prefect, library prefect, Ode, Grace, Annie, health prefect, Paul, health prefect, Ogenta, Christian, Osher, Pentecostal prefect, Yellow House captain and Pentecostal prefect, Open Energy Heaven, utility prefect, utility prefect, Women, favorite Diamond. Mwandu, Sikora, Zina, Boy, Singer Prefect May, Njokwe, Dying Prefect, Amanda, Adia, Timekeeper May. The last but not the least, Timekeeper May. Ezukosi, good luck, Nick. Presentation of awards to dignitaries. Presentation of awards to dignitaries. To the chairman of location, Barrister Abba Odor. Chairman of location. This award is given in honor and recognition of his service to Cherryfield College. You're welcome, sir.
We are sensitive to share this with people. And your presence today has led to a lot of difference. Not only to the students, but also to the school. We are highly appreciated. I want to assure you that all you spend here today will bring love and friends to them in a million people. On behalf of the management, staff, and PTA, and also members and parents of Cherryfield College, I present this award to you in recognition of your immeasurable contribution and support to Cherryfield College. God bless you. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for the chairman of location. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. God bless you. Colonel Mohammed Kuri Hamanga.
think I have very little to say about you. When it comes to the issue of Cherryfield, you and your family a pillar to this school, right from the heart. And we will accept to be a special guest, even as one of their parents among the graduating students. You are taking a newer seat by staying behind, but you agree to be at the forefront. That shows the way you take Cherryfield College. We appreciate you. Each time we see it, we always ask you how is Cherryfield College. Keep doing the best. Keep doing what you are doing. Sir, we are highly appreciated. Thank you and God bless you for all the support, all this years. Thank you, sir.
A round of applause for the guest of honor. Thank you, God bless you. Presentation of testimonials. PTA. Put your hands together for the chairman PTA for the next round of presentation. After by Abubakar Halima Mercy. He's very snappy about that. Abubakar Umar Farouk. Chidera Michael. Mo Paris Opara. Johanna. Johanna will be followed by Akwadi Gabriel. Amechi Aloki Kelechi Ju. Ame Emmanuel Adoy. Amici Tobechukwu Emmanuel. Atama service. Azike Emmanuela Chioma. Usibe Abasi. I call him Big Pen. Sophia. Sophia will be followed by Chinedu Obinna Kesi. Winnie Onyinye. That is our Princess Margaret. The Vice Chairman PTA be getting ready. May I have the Vice Chairman PTA for the rest of the presentation? Daniela Zamadami. Ibe Lamba Chimamanda Amanga Adea Kuni. Should be followed by Amanga Adea. Fatima Ibrahim. Elizabeth. Mike. The mic will be followed by Isaac David Odotuli. Isaac David Odotuli, one of the staff students of this is 2025. Ethan Valerie. Other days will be followed by John and Sarah. Joseph Michael. Chukwuebuka Franklin. Chukwuebuka Franklin. Nwachukwu Favour is on his way. Rema. Followed by One Sikora. Diamond, Favorite. Favorite, give it away. Will be followed by Open Empty Heaven. Rachel. Okewa David. Okewa Robin. Ready. Oh, peace. Five. Operating. Adesi. Mirabel. Samuel. Oloye Julius. Samuel. Angel Omolola. Olusoyi Angel Omolola. Angel singing away. Onye Butoan in the get ready. May I invite Mrs. Kamadami, one of the GTA executives, for the rest of the presentation. Opalo Ata. You're welcome. Osareti Esusa. We need Daniel. Esusa, keep coming, keep coming. Simba, Phillips, Titi, followed by Okiwe Kamsi. Okiwe Kamsi, Amanda. Kamsi will be followed by Osa Naomi. Amina Utopia on your way. The parents will be doing this. You will call the name of the student. Just raise your hand from your seat. They will deliver your package to you so that we save time. Thank you, Titi. Joseph Michael. Joseph Michael. Chinedu. Osama Naomi. You have really done well. Thank you. God bless you. Investiture of the best graduating student. This will be done by our air students. Our air students, are you ready? Martins and your team, please smile out. Properly. They are all looking fresh and hot. This is lovely.
Mr. Chairman, good morning. Guest of honor, school management, chairman of the school, principal, teachers, distinguished friends, guardians, everybody, and our fellow and our graduates. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, I'm sorry. My name is Martin Diban. I'm an alumnus of this school, past students from the class of 2013. And I'm here with my friends and my colleagues who are also past students of 2013. So I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why the response from the students and what the connection is, but late last year, November, with collaboration from the school management, we hosted a career day that was themed The Road Ahead, praying for university success and beyond, just a way to prepare our students for the next journey of their life as they progress to university and as they try to, become adults. And it was a very well thought out day. We had panel sessions, soft skills training session. We handed out certificates for participation to them, and we tried to encourage the school to remain connected to the school as alumni, to also pass down the same spirits to our fellow colleagues from previous sets. So just as a way to connect with the school, we thought it would be good for us to come here today celebrating the 16th graduation ceremony and 22 years of the school. So not to talk for too long, on behalf of the graduating set of 2013, we will be donating a sum of 400,000 naira to the 10 graduating students, 200,000 naira each, because ahead this year there's a tie. So for the two students, we will be donating 20,000 naira each. We just want to encourage them, encourage the school management for everything they've done. So people living a life for this long is not easy. You understand, it takes a village to raise a child. So for all that we've gone through, all the experiences, the support that we've given to us, this is our little token of giving back. Thank you so much for having us. God bless you.
Please come on stage. Isaac Davis, come to the stage quickly. Hold the grace. Hold the grace, where are you? Star students of the Utopia set 2025, receiving good gifts from excellence. Hold the grace. Students, formally and specially, can we shift the podium? Edgar, are you ready? The valedictory speech will be taken by the head girl of the set.
Good afternoon, Chairman of the occasion, Chairman Board of Directors, guests of honor, Reverend Management Team, respected members of staff, awesome parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John April, and I am humbled and grateful to have served this institution as the outgoing head girl of the Utopian Set class of 2025. And of course, I am more than honored and proud to deliver this valedictory speech on behalf of the entire set. As we stand here today, at the threshold of this new chapter in our lives, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the Almighty God for guiding us through the ups and downs of our academic journey. I wish to profoundly extend my heartfelt appreciation to the school proprietor and the management team of Cherryfield College. Your vision, leadership, and dedication to excellence have provided us with an environment where we could grow, learn, and thrive. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality, as Anne McCarthy once said. A special thank you to my amazing mother, Mr. Lee, for her unwavering love, support, and encouragement throughout my stay at Cherryfield College. Your presence here today means the world to me, and I'm sure many of my fellow graduates feel the same way towards their loved ones. We gather here today as a culmination of years of hard work, dedication and perseverance. Late night study sessions and early morning wake-up calls have all contributed to our growth and development. As we reflect on our time at Cherryfield College, it's impossible not to feel a mix of emotions, joy, nostalgia, and a hint of trepidation about the future. Along our journey, we have forged lasting friendships, navigated challenges, and discovered our passions. We have stumbled, fallen, and gotten back up, stronger and wiser each time. As young adults on the cusp of this new chapter, we may feel invincible, and rightly so. We are graduating after all. However, it's essential to acknowledge that life is precious because it's fleeting, like our brief 6 years at Cherryfield College. What makes life valuable is that it doesn't last forever. What makes it precious is that it ends. This realization should inspire us to make the most of the time we have been given. Fellow Utopian settlements, don't waste your precious time making someone else's life. Make yours count. Pursue your dreams with purpose, take calculated risks, and seize opportunities with courage and determination. Our journey at Cherryfield College has been marked by countless lessons, both inside and outside the classroom. We have learned from our mistakes, celebrated our successes, and grown from each experience. Each challenge has been an opportunity for growth, and each triumph has strengthened our resolve. As we prepare to leave this institution, I pray that we carry these lessons to us, applying them to our future endeavors and making a positive impact in the world.
We will cut the cake with the spelling of Utopia. Give me a U, a T, an O, a P, an I, an A. Utopia set of 2025. Now, you are going to raise your hands when I say 3 happy cheers. Hip, hip, hip! Hip, hip, hip! Hip, hip, hip! You guys, let's throw them up! Throw them up! Hooray! The vice principal of the college for the vote of thanks. Put your hand to the vice principal of the college to the stage. You're welcome, sir.
I would like to begin the vote of thanks by actually thanking our chairman, the guest of honor, chairman board of directors, for gracing us with your presence and making this event a memorable one. We are grateful for the valuable insights that you have shared with our students. Your words will really enrich this celebration, or at least really enrich this celebration. I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to the organizing committee, technical team, and the students who tirelessly work to bring this event to life. Your hard work and dedication are truly commendable. We also thank the performers, all the performers who showcased their incredible talents and captivated us with their performances. Let me also recognize the presence of the PTA chairman, the vice chairman, and other PTA members. Our remarkable graduates, it is with immense joy, heartfelt pride, and deep admiration that I extend our warmest congratulations to each and every one of you. Significant milestone. Today is more than just a ceremony. It is a celebration of your unwavering commitment, your many accomplishments, and the exciting future that lies ahead. Before I continue with talking to you, advising you further, you have not only taught lessons, but you have modeled values that will resonate with them for years to come. Thank you for your tireless efforts and profound impact. To our ever supportive parents and guardians, thank you for all you have done. Your encouragement, sacrifices, and faith in our mission have made this day possible. We are truly grateful for your collaboration and belief in your children. And to you, our graduates, know that the world awaits your brilliance. Embrace your role with courage. Live with compassion and let your light shine wherever you go. Continue to live boldly, act justly, and live purposely. Let the foundation laid here at Cherryfield College be the launching pad for lives of impact and significance. On behalf of Cherryfield community, I say once again, congratulations. We are incredibly proud of all you have achieved, and we are confident that your future will be nothing short of extraordinary. Thank you all for being a part of this memorable day. Thank you to our parents, those who have supported us in diverse ways. We pray that God Almighty will reward you, those that have spent their time, resources, even in training our children. May God continue.
Jesus' name. Father, Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for bringing us all here safely. Thank you, Lord, because you brought us through our 6 years since graduation. We ask, Lord, that for the next phase of our lives, you will be with us each step of the way in Jesus' name. We ask, Lord, that as we return back home one last time from Cherryfield, you protect us and guide us on our way and continue to show each and every one of us mercy. Lord, we are grateful to you for everything you have done, and we ask that you accept our thanks in Jesus' name.